Cerebral palsy is a
this unit by buying a television set and educational materials for the unit. And we also built a 2-seater toilet facility with biodigester for the unit to help enhance the work that goes on here. We are happy that government is now paying attention to social issues and issues that concerns the vulnerable. We will be happy to have the government have a unit school in every government facility so that parents will be able to have a safe place to keep their children. This will also serve as a source of employment for the youth, because we wish that government will employ people who have studied social disability studies, special education, rehabilitation into these facilities to support our children within the facility.
The team from the Special Mothers Project visited the Minister for Information, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, to explore various ways of enhancing advocacy on cerebral palsy in Ghana.
We've come to present some policy suggestions that we think government can help implement and enhance the lives of children with cerebral palsy and their families. When you give birth to a child, it doesn't come out immediately that the child has cerebral palsy. The child will have to be growing before you know that your child has cerebral palsy. Most of the hospitals too do not understand how to care for these children, so they use a one-size-fits-all kind of approach. And you go as a parent and they write a lot of tests and all those things, which they know will not solve your problem, but you spend money. In Ghana, there's what is called the community-based rehabilitation program. These people are trained at the University of Education, Winneba. Most of them come out of school and they don't even have what to do. They find themselves working in the banks or something, even though they've been trained on yes. And so we are suggesting that the CBR students be absorbed into the school systems, if possible, together with some of these unemployed nurses, to go into the school system to assist children with cerebral palsy within the school system. So the Special Mothers Project has adopted the school at Medina. It's a government school which has a special unit. And we think that it's something that can be replicated in every district, so that every district will have a cluster or school where one classroom is dedicated to children with special needs, with a full complement of professionals there to attend to the children. Some of the children need someone to help them with feeding, with toilet training and other things, which we think that the nurses and the CBR professionals can do. Even at the Medina school, they run an 8 to 12 system, so they close at 12. So if you're a working parent, by 12 o'clock you should be going to pick your child. But I think that they could run an 8 to 5 system where parents will have flexibility to be able to take them there, go and work, and then come and pick them up in the evening. We will also appreciate if we are able to get higher authorities to report to. My daughter goes to the Medina school because that's the one, but I live around Oyibi. Recently I went to Oyibi to find out if the government school could accept her, and immediately they heard, oh, special needs. They said no vacancy. Who do you go to talk to if a school rejects your child? I have tried with the National Council on Persons with Disabilities. I've written to them. I know the executive secretary, but nothing usually comes out. So if we have some higher power to let's talk to about these things, to make the policy effective on the ground. We know that not all children with cerebral palsy can go to school. Most parents work around the clock just taking care of the child. There's no respite for them. If something like this could be done, it will give the parents a bit of respite during the times that the caregiver is in to help. And then the National Health Insurance Scheme, it doesn't take care of our therapies when we go to the hospital, and it doesn't take care of the drugs that the children are put on. If these things can be put in for us, so that the parents will not, most parents when their children are sick, they just sit home looking at them because they can't go to the hospital. It's expensive. When you go, they request one test or this, and they don't have the money to do it. So if we can have the National Health Insurance absorb some of these things for us, we will be very grateful. Thank you.
I think from our end, first we would like to congratulate you that you've taken up a course like this, because not only would it help in your peculiar case for us to deal with the issues around it, but I believe that if we do it and we do it well, it will actually open up the box for the country to deal substantively with something that we all pretend doesn't exist. We here at the Ministry of Information will be more than excited to support you and to amplify the cause that you are on. And I see it in two major ways. First is that the very cause that you are on needs to be amplified, and we need to let more people know about what you are doing and its potential benefits and why we should all pay attention to it and be supportive of it. And to do that, we have an amplified platform that we would use to highlight what you are doing. But beyond that, I think we can also assist you directly engage with some officers that we believe must pay some more attention to what you are doing, and some personalities who I think we should help connect you to, so that they can also pay some more attention and support what you are doing. So first, we would amplify what you are doing, and even under that, beyond our social media amplification platforms, help you directly engage with some persons and offices that we believe can bring some more highlighting to your cause. Second is that we can assist you advance a case to some specific places where the policy suggestions you are making can be considered and hopefully onboarded. One I see clearly is the Ministry of Education, where this conversation about hiring CBR staff, nurses, and national service people and getting the Ghana Education Service to designate at least one school in a district, one class in one school in a district to be for special kids, is something we should be able to engage the Education Ministry with you to see us and how they can do that. And while at that, extend the hours from 8 to 12 to 8 to 5 p.m. So one of the things we'll do is to go with you to my good friend and brother, the Minister for Education, and have you present this course to him. We'll support you in that, and it's something that we would do well to lobby for you at the highest levels to see that it gets some attention. At the same time, we can also work with you to engage the Social Protection Ministry, through whose vehicle a program for home-based caregivers could be examined, and if it's feasible and can be funded, based on the numbers and visibilities that they have, can be looked at. So we would engage with them. Then I would engage with you, we will go with you to our colleague, the health minister, to look at how NHIA can also be apprised of the questions of therapy and drugs and how they can also support in that area. So to conclude, there are two broad things that we can do for you. We can amplify your cause on our social and partner platforms, and even directly with senior persons and senior officers who we believe must be aware of your project and must support it. I just don't want to mention names now, but I'm sure once we get into that detail, we'll outline it. And apart from amplifying, we can handhold you and work with you to carry your policy suggestions forward to these three ministries, departments, and agencies I've mentioned. And our prayer will be that it succeeds and sees the light of day. And if it does, we would have done something significant in helping to deal with the situation. So I'll let my colleague, the Honorable Deputy Minister, make a few comments.
This is very good cause. As a mother, I think it's one of the big things that we can do for our younger ones who are yet to be born and those who are here already. And you can always count on our support. And as Minister said, if there is any assistance that you require from him, if he assigns me to any of such role to assist you in that direction, I'll gladly do that. And hopefully, at the end of the day, we'll be able to achieve the objectives that you've set for this project.
Note that the symptoms of cerebral palsy are not usually obvious after a baby is born. They normally become noticeable during the first 2 or 3 years of a child's life. Speak to a health professional if you have any concerns about your child's health or development. Amplified, supporting young businesses, building people.